Hi guys. So I started a new series called School Just For You. And this series is going to be a story. Before this it was just characters, but this time it's going to be I'm going to create a bunch of characters as much as I can, and then I'm going to make a whole story out of this. The story is called A School Just For You, and A School Just For You is the name of the school. It is a school in the middle of the forest. When people started living together, when people used to live alone and then they made families alone, and then they suddenly thought, okay, we can live together and then we can, um, you know, one of us will cook, the other one will do other things, and then that turned into cities, and then that became bigger, and then turned into countries, and now we're living. Some people from the start just chose not to do that. They kept living by themselves. And the school is built in the middle of the forest for those kids of these families that chose to live by themselves. This forest was given to those families. A school just for you does not teach subjects that other schools teach. It just teaches the things that these kids specifically need. These kids do not need math or science or whatever. Maybe if they want to learn that, they will go to other universities. I don't know. But this school just for you teaches them to just find themselves. And then once the kid feels like they know they're sure about themselves, they just tell the school and they just leave. So the kids can leave whenever they want, but they're there because they're lost, because they are kids. So a kid in the name of Rose. A kid in the name of Rose also attends this school. She has a lot of flowers in her hair. She probably lives in, more like just in the middle of trees, like so much. Wherever she's living, she came from, there's just a lot of trees and flowers and stuff. It's probably not the rocky hills and the cave-like places that Void was from. She's more from like the just more forest-like place. She came from a more forest-like place. She has a lot of flowers in her hair, and the flowers, you can't tell if the flowers are coming from her skull to outside or if she is wearing the flowers. Now this character, normally I freestyle the characters. Like when I press record, I have no idea what the character that I'm gonna be saying. I have no idea what words are gonna come out of my mouth when I open the recording. But for this video, I actually had an idea because I was thinking about what a school just for you is going to be about. And then I also knew about this character long before I even created the channel. This character was the first ever character that I drew. I actually have like a drawing of this character. It's a character that has flowers coming out of her head. All the flowers are supposed to symbolize dreams and fake realities in her head. In real life, she has nothing, but in her head, she has dreams and illusions of great lives. And that painting was supposed to ask the question of, does you being happy, even if it's from like just fake illusions, is that the important thing, or is your real life is your situation in the real life the important thing? You know, I believe it's the real life, because why would we be born into this life if reality didn't matter? So yeah, Rose attends the school. She came from the forest. She also, when I imagine of her, that's just like, when I imagine of this girl, I imagine like there's a peaks of sunshine coming from um, between the trees, but mostly it's the trees covering the sky, and her laying in grass, and she's wearing bright clothing and flowers coming out of her hair. And I also don't like, when I think of her again, no family really comes to my mind. She also was very away from humanity, never really talked to people. And she just lives in her head. She really, like, when she wakes up after, eating, which she really lives in comfort. There is no issues in her life. She is, since she lives in the forest, she's very, like, there's food everywhere. So she's not struggling in that case. But the only issue for her is that she doesn't really care about her real life, because she really lives in her head, and the flowers that are coming out of her head kind of shows that to other people. Her favorite flower was rose, because it was just very different. Other flowers are just, they smell good, they look good, they're cute, they're just beautiful. But flower was the only, rose was the only flower that she touched and looked at it, and she accidentally um, got her finger poked by one of the thorns on the rose and got fascinated by the flower. So she has some of the roses on her head too, even though the thorns do hurt. She loves the flower, and so she named herself Rose. So that's a very interesting character too. So all of these students, they came from the forest to find themselves. The only lesson is to live in there together, and as they live with other people, observe the other people too, they will find themselves.